Next, a death trap is how former Home Secretary David Blunkett has described some tube platforms and is calling on Transport for London for an urgent review. It emerged over the weekend that the Labour peer had fallen into the gap while he boarded a District Line train with his guide dog at Westminster. The incident last month left the 77-year-old with severe bruising and grazes to his leg. Tolu Adeoye has the story.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap, the familiar call on the tube network. Warnings on platforms too, but for some Londoners who are disabled or visually impaired, this doesn't go far enough. The Labour peer, Lord Blunkett, who is blind, was injured when he was trying to board a District Line train here at Westminster tube station. He was with his guide dog last month. He's now calling for an urgent review into what he's called the death trap of some platforms. He wants TfL to fill the widest gaps on platforms and make sure there's always someone there to help, especially during rush hour.
So you have sides.
Adam, chair of Inclusion London, which campaigns for equality for deaf and disabled people, agrees more must be done.
Unfortunately, I'm not surprised. It's something that definitely needs to be addressed and travel needs to be made safe.
So what would you like to see, what immediate changes-wise, what would you like to see improved?
Just retrofitting existing stations, closing the gaps, more staff on hand to assist where needed. But as a wheelchair user myself, I like to travel independently, so I don't like relying on people. But if that is needed, we need staff on hand to assist people to prevent accidents like what happened, unfortunately, to Mr. Blunkett.
I mean, look at this gap. It's just ridiculous.
This is far from the first time BBC London has reported on accidents due to gaps at stations. Recently, the Elizabeth line at Ealing Broadway station has raised concerns. The Guide Dogs for the Blind Association says more investment is needed in the infrastructure.
When we hear from people who fall between the platform and the train, it sounds absolutely horrifying. They absolutely feel terrified if them or their dog falls between the train and the platform. They feel that they're lost control, they haven't got support, there's no one there to help them, and they just feel absolutely helpless.
TfL has apologised to Lord Blunkett and told us, "The safety of our customers and staff is at the forefront of everything we do, and while injuries like the one experienced by Lord Blunkett are rare, we're undertaking a huge range of work aimed at eradicating such incidents and making travelling even safer for everyone." It says it will be meeting Lord Blunkett to discuss how it could have managed the incident better. For campaigners, the hope is it will lead to some tangible changes soon. Tolu Adeoye, BBC London.